I can't hear you, Ashley.
Welcome to Climate Health Now's September community meeting. We're glad you all are here. Can't believe it's already the middle of September. We have a great hour planned for you, and we appreciate you making time to be with us. So, and I'm excited that we're gonna have lots of voices coming in and different people sharing. So it'll be a fun hour. So we'll be talking about meeting with our state level elected representatives and what climate health advocacy looks and feels like in action, and hear about some of our members who have done that this month. If you wouldn't mind writing in the chat where you're joining from, that'd be fun. And Amanda's going to start us off grounding with highlighting a few of our values, Climate Health Now's values.
Oh, awesome. All righty. Hi everyone, I'm Amanda Milstein. Nice to see everyone. We'll keep letting people in. I will not read through all of this. I think the one that I'm going to highlight right now is acting in partnership. That the bills we've been working on this year have been we've been doing it in coalition with lots of different types of groups, like labor groups, teacher unions, other health organizations, parent organizations, and it's been a really good grounding in how important health voices are, and also how valuable we are when we're acting in partnership and coalition with others.
Thank you, Amanda. Amanda, I'm just going to speak to our mission. We like to come back to this every month. So our mission, Climate Health Now's mission, is that we organize and mobilize the California health community to advocate for equitable systems level action. And when we say health community, we mean anybody in the health sector. So from public health to health administrators to dentists, therapists, medical assistants, social workers, the whole sector. That's who Climate Health Now's members are. So just to keep our North Star central. And here's the outline for where we will go in the next hour. So we'll start by welcoming some new members. We'll hear a really exciting announcement about the Healthcare Sustainability Team's fellowship. We'll celebrate and learn from Climate Health Now's organizing fellowship. Our 3 fellows are here, Cindy, C, and Shuin, and talk about the advocacy meetings that they helped us to prepare for and have. And then we'll close out with some save the dates. So I'm screen sharing. Amanda, if you could do attendance, that'd be great. And then would anybody be willing to be the chat monitor and just pipe up if there's something important we should bring into the conversation? Go ahead and unmute if you want to take that role.
I can. This one.
That's one. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. So Brenda, if you could highlight one of Climate Health Now's norms for us today, that would be great. Brenda with us.
I think she may not be on yet.
Yeah. Do you want to highlight one, Amanda?
Sure. I'm the backup to Brenda, so I will act as Brenda. Let's see. What are we going to highlight here? Bring humor. I think that's one that often goes unappreciated, but is so important as how to make this work fun and doable. So I'll highlight that.
Great idea. Radical. Humor in a Zoom meeting. Thank you for that. All right, so this is a really fun part. We would love for anybody who's joining us for the first time, community meeting with Climate Health Now, if you could come off mute and introduce yourself, your name, what type of health work you do, and where you live / work, and just take 15-30 seconds or so just to make space for everybody. So who's here for the first time? Carmen, is this your first meeting?
Yes.
You want to introduce yourself?
Nurse practitioner, retired, live in Napomo, active on climate and environmental issues.
Awesome. And tons of organizing experience. We're glad you're with us.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Ellen, is this maybe your first meeting? Who else is it their first meeting today? Roz, you've been with us once before, right?
I think so. I think so. Yeah,
Sorry, you want to introduce yourself?
I may as well. My name is Roz Harder, and I'm a medical social worker in an oncology clinic at Kaiser Oakland, and I live in Berkeley.
Great, thanks for joining. We'll hear from you later too. Alex, it's been a while. Do you want to say hi?
Moi? Hi, Alex Sherris, Fowler, California, the great Central Valley.
Wonderful.
Water challenged, pollution challenged.
Exactly. Glad you're here. Good. Okay. Nobody else it's your first meeting? All right. Well, we're glad y'all are here again. And please invite all your friends in the health community. So we like to just echo. Okay, how about that? Is that better? We like to come back to this framework often for what our work is in community organizing, which is always kind of using the head or strategy and the heart, which is the values that we share with our community, and then bringing it together with our hand, which is our actual work. And today, and the legislative meetings and the advocacy is really about strategy and kind of the how-to of our work, not the why as much. So there's kind of framing in that, and then I'm going to pass it to Pam actually to talk about the fellowship.
Thanks so much, Ashley. Will you just advance the slides for me?
You betcha.
Okay, thank you. Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. My name's Pam. I'm part of the leadership for the Healthcare Sustainability Resource Team for Climate Health Now, and thanks to everyone organizing for making it possible for me to present today before I have to run off to Journal Club. So Bill Pevick, who is the other chair of this team, and I are starting a really fun and I think really exciting opportunity, which we are calling our Healthcare Sustainability Fellowship. And we'll get into a little bit more of the details about the application process in a second, but this is just us kind of teasing that this is happening and letting everyone know that this is going to be coming down the pipeline. The overall vision for this fellowship is that it's designed for people who have had a project in mind, who've been thinking about something, maybe haven't had the time to dedicate to it, maybe don't know where to start, but are really willing to make the effort and to work with us through sort of a coaching process in order to make that project happen. Bill and I are very aligned in our desire for this fellowship to actually turn into action for people and to have people actually be able to complete a project throughout the fellowship. Next slide, please. So as far as what we envision for this fellowship, which again, this is the first time we're doing this, first year we're doing this. So there may be a few adjustments and it may be a little bit of an iterative process. We think that coaching is going to be a very, very important component of this. And we are at this point projecting a minimum commitment to attend a 1-hour session each month for 1 year. And in between those sessions, you will have sort of your project that you're working on. Of course, we'd be available throughout email or any other type of communication that you need. The coaching will be done by, again, Bill Pevick and myself. Bill is currently, I think, mountain biking, something like that.
Sorry, if you're not speaking, would you mind muting yourself, please?
Thanks, Ashley. So yeah, Bill cannot be here. He is usually present at these meetings. He's mountain biking somewhere, but he is a retired vascular surgeon from UC Davis. Don't let the fact that he's a vascular surgeon dissuade you from applying. Okay. And infectious disease doctor, with a focus in infection prevention and control and the sustainability and promoting sustainable practices within infection and control. Between the two of us, we have a lot of experience in developing and championing healthcare sustainability projects, Bill in particular, as the previous chief of vascular surgery at Davis and someone who's really, really done a lot of work at that healthcare system in seeing projects through, has a lot of experience in working with administration and liaising with administrators in order to advance these projects as well. Next slide, please. For the application process, again, we foresee that people who want to apply will have a climate project that they're either already working on or wish to work on as a part of this fellowship. The expectation is that participants will work in real time to implement their climate solution project. We do highly encourage group projects. So if you and someone else at your healthcare facility or within your system have a project that you want to work on together, we do encourage that, partially for that additional accountability and partially because it's just easier when you have someone working with you. We will be sending out additional instructions on how to apply in October, and we project that the fellowship will start in January 2024 and will last for 1 year, although it can be extended if needed. And next slide. So reasons to apply, I think this is the most important part. We anticipate that people who participate in this fellowship will gain accountability and mentorship in conducting and completing a healthcare sustainability project, learn skills useful to shepherding a healthcare sustainability project from start to finish. So hopefully this is the tip of the iceberg for everyone who participates, right? It'll maybe be their first project, kind of grab onto some low-hanging fruit, and then learn how to build onto healthcare sustainability from there. And of course, you know, we're all sort of doing this on our free time. We're not being paid to do this in any sort of extra way. However, a lot of these projects are extremely conducive to things like journal publication or internal QI projects. So that may be an additional way to get some time for this on top of doing your day job. And I think that is the last slide I have. I know we only have a couple minutes. If anyone has any brief questions, I'd be happy to answer them, or you can go and email me, Bill, or both of us.
Awesome. Thank you, Pam. This is exciting. Yeah, we definitely have time for questions if anybody has any that you want to ask Pam now.
Yeah, Amanda.
I have a quick question. So if somebody wanted to apply and only one person on the team needs to be a current CHN member, is that right? That you can recruit the team, like if you're going to apply with the rest of the team, not everyone has to currently be a member, is that right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And they would be welcome to join Climate Health Now. For sure. They're in health in California. Great. Any other questions? Okay. Cool. Well, thank you, Pam. Appreciate you coming up with this idea.
Megan, I think Megan was just talking, but we couldn't hear you. We still can't hear you, but I see you are talking. Maybe double muted.
Megan, do you want to write in the chat maybe? Since we can't hear you.
Yeah, we still
Can you
can't.
hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hi,
Yeah.
okay, sorry. Really quickly, this is a fabulous idea. UC, the Center for Climate Health Equity, which is this UC-wide center, of which Pam, I imagine you're a part, and I imagine Bill may be engaged as well, are starting a healthcare system decarbonization fellowship as well. So there may be some influence if there are people at multiple who want to collaborate or work on something together.
That's amazing. Megan, if you could share that description of that with us, we'd love to include it in our newsletter and help.
Yeah, it is for I think it's for UCSF faculty, but I'm happy to share it because it could be I think there may be some good overlap too. So
Yeah,
can I email to you, Ashley? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be great. Wonderful. And then I see Carmen put in the chat, and then we'll come to you, Alex. So Carmen was asking, can you give us an example, Pam, of a project?
Yeah, so I think one easy project that's been done in quite a few healthcare systems is just looking at biohazardous waste and doing education, adjusting the types of bins that are available. I think Bill did this at UC Davis, and he just took away the bins and left people with bags, something like that. So that's I think if that has not already been done in your institution, that's a really great place to start.
Can I add one other idea too? And then Alex will come to you, is it brings to mind the idea of just getting an institution to create a carbon inventory, like to even do an emissions inventory, because a minority of systems have done that, measuring their scope 1, 2, and 3 emissions. So that could also be a really high yield project in alignment with the HHS climate health pledge too. Great question, Carmen.
There's all sorts of things. Measuring is a great place to start, absolutely. And then I think Amanda and Cindy put some other ideas in the chat. But if you don't have a project and you're interested, reach out to me and Bill. We will start talking. We will come up with something, and it could be part of this fellowship, it could be outside of it. But really, I think Bill and I are just, we're passionate about doing this kind of work and want to help people do it however possible.
Awesome. Alex, did you want to share?
Yeah. Great idea. A question: how are you going to get the word out? And being old school, I would love to see a flyer that I can print and put up around the hospital, residency programs, generate some interest in that way.
Absolutely. Yeah, we can create a flyer once we have our formal application process a little bit more figured out. We can make a flyer with maybe like a QR code, something like that. People can scan and that'll take it to the application page. But yes, that is a great idea. And flyers aren't old school. They're still extremely, extremely effective.
Love it. Great. Any other questions? I see applause coming your way, Pam.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. Please reach out with anything.
Okay, thanks so much. Wonderful. All right. I'm really excited to introduce our Climate Health Now team that did the Climate Health Organizing Fellowship. That's a fellowship that is put on through like the Cambridge Health Alliance and Harvard with Pedja Stojic and Gara Basu. So I'll pass it to Cindy, and Shwin to share.
Thank you so much, Ashley, and good afternoon, everyone. I wanted to talk about the Climate Health Organizing Fellowship, which is actually through the Center for Health Equity, Education, and Advocacy, which is affiliated with the Cambridge Health Alliance. Now, this fellowship is designed to focus on community organizing within the context of climate health. It is a 12-month fellowship, and the course involves weekend coursework, meetings, readings, and identifying a project and coaching. And we applied for this fellowship because we wanted to advance the work of CHN, the CHN leaders who are on the call today, in terms of the fact that they had completed the fellowship. And our goal was to expand and to engage CHN members. And our project is culminating today. Sorry, our project is culminating today with this project, with this meeting. And our success is a shared one. And it has been made possible with the wonderful and insightful guidance of our coach, Flannery. And I wanted to just take a moment to give a shout out to Flannery for all of her input and helping us arrive where we are today. And thank you all for being willing to participate. And that's it.
Okay, it's on to me. So I wanted to start with just saying a little bit about what our campaign strategy was, and then a little bit about our process. We went through a lot of different things and had a lot of help from the coaches and folks with the Climate Health Organizing Fellowship to figure out what our strategy was and then how to base a project on that. So we really decided that and learned this, I think, during the fellowship, that building relationships really is the key base to a lot of this. So we really wanted to figure out a project that would build relationships with each other in CHN, well, with our group, with everybody in CHN, with our colleagues, and then our elected officials and staffers. So that was kind of what the campaign strategy was based on, was relationship building. And then the next slide talks a little bit about how we went about doing that. And I want to just take a pause and give a big, big thanks to Shwin and C. They are both extraordinary humans. And it's like emotional for me. Like, it's been a really incredible year for me, and they've just taught me a lot and been very patient. And, you know, we've had ups and downs and figuring things out, and we really worked it through. And speaking of relationship building, I just have such incredible gratitude to both of you. So thank you. And extended gratitude to Margie and Amanda and Ashley, who really supported us a ton in figuring this all out and helping us make it happen. So moment of thanks. And then just to show you our sort of campaign timeline, we started with, you know, the foundation of doing one-on-ones, which we learned a lot of through the fellowship, learned a lot about public speaking, which I hate, but I'm getting better at. We did our kickoff, we did our different peaks, and then this final peak was to really try to meet with our elected officials, which a lot of us have done, or our staffers. So it's very exciting. We did have goals that you can see down below in parentheses, and our turnout was definitely less than our goals, but we did have good turnout and we did have success, and we learned a lot during the path. And I think this is just going to continue and keep branching out. And so I think that having a campaign strategy as a basis was something we had to keep coming back to and keep defining our project. And that was a big learning for me. And I feel just, yeah, a lot of gratitude. So thank you to everyone.
All right. Well, hey everyone, this is Shuin. Thank you, Cindy, and see also Cindy, you like almost made me cry, and I was like, no, I gotta speak next. So, but the best part of this journey for me has been just getting to know, of course, C and Cindy, but of course also all of you. And some of you have, you know, had one-on-ones with me, and or we've met in different settings, but just going through this process together with all of you, learning together and growing together has been really, really great. Now, the big kind of culmination of our project was really to get as many people in CHN to go to a legislative meeting, right? So to go and meet with their elected officials, you know, their local elected officials. And so I'd like to first introduce Amy. Let's see, Amy, there you are. Okay, and if you could introduce yourself and tell us all about your experience participating in a legislative meeting, that'd be great. And I'm
can you hear me okay, Shuin? Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Yes. Yes,
Yep,
good.
yep.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I'm Amy Garland. I'm an internist, HIV doc, ID specialist here in the East Bay, currently working with Healthcare for the Homeless in Alameda County. I got involved with CHN initially a long, long time ago, right before COVID, when there was an in-person event at Mission Bay. And then a lot of stuff happened, like a pandemic. And make a long story short, I'm just kind of circling back to my intention really to be and stay involved with climate activism among healthcare folks. So really glad to be here. And I attended a legislative meeting last week or the week before last. I had met with elected officials before, but only in person. And most recently, I think 2020, I was in Sacramento supporting some lobbying there by Legal Services for Prisoners with Children. But I'd never done a Zoom meeting, and it was really fun. When I heard about the opportunity, I was curious. I wasn't sure whether, as somebody who was maybe more peripherally involved in CHN, I was the right person to show up, but I was welcomed by Shuin and Ashley and the other folks there. I really appreciate that. And we met with a staffer in Buffy Wick's office. I've forgotten her name. I think it might have been Abigail, but I don't remember for sure. I appreciated that we had a brief, but I think very helpful and effective pre-brief before our meeting. It was right before our meeting, which made it easy for me to schedule too. There wasn't like a whole lot of preparation I had to do way before. I just kind of, we huddled up right before, we figured out what we were all going to do, which I think was a great strategy. I really liked going to the meeting knowing what my role was and what I was expected to contribute. And so I contributed some background about a climate change enabled new pathogen that's likely to be have an impact on health in California and in the Bay Area in Buffy Wick's Assembly District in the upcoming season. And I think that the staff member was really receptive. She seemed really engaged and was nodding and didn't ask too many questions, but it seemed like she was listening, and I can't really say there was anything particularly challenging about it. I thought we worked well together as a little group. I also really appreciated hearing the other members of our team speak. I think I learned something from what everyone else contributed as well, and how they interacted with this staff member. And I'd love to do it again and be a part of another group, or to encourage anyone else out there to try this, even if it's something that you haven't done before.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Amy, for sharing. Let's see. So actually, I would really like for us to do a group activity really quick, because Amy, you summed up your meeting really, really great, but I also wanted to give other people a chance to kind of see how many people here actually did meet with their elected officials. So if we can use either your physical hand or your Zoom hand, can everybody answer a couple questions? So who met with their elected official or staffer? I can't find my Zoom hand. Oh, how exciting, so many. Okay. Ooh, even more. Yay. Okay, all right. And who this kind of go around this season, was it with their first time being involved in a elected official meeting? Ooh, exciting. So a little fewer, but that's very exciting to get some new folks in. Did anybody actually organize their meeting? Like actually schedule and organize? Ooh, hello. There we go, Mike and Margie, and let's see, and Lisa. Yes, Lisa's a pro though. Okay. What is it? Who met with a less supportive elected official, like somebody who may be on the other side? Oh, anybody? Or did we all meet with really friendly people?
Those are coming up.
Those are coming up, yeah. Okay. Who would do it again?
Right, Alex? That's coming up, right?
Oh yeah. All right. And then, oh, sorry, did someone say something? Okay, and how many people would feel comfortable with recruiting other healthcare community members to their next meeting? Yeah, awesome. Yay. Okay, and then if you could all just take a moment to put in the chat what's one thing you learned, or any other comments you want to make. But I want to also just hand over the mic and the spotlight to Mallory. Where's Mallory? I see you, Mallory. Yes. Okay, so then Mallory, she also, you are in a very important district. Mallory is in Pasadena or in that area. And we learned this year through our legislative campaigns that this district is very important. So I would love if Mallory, you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience.
Hi, I'm Mallory Zhang. Yeah, as it turns out, I guess I do live in the district for a couple of state senators and assembly people who have the reins of controls in some important way. I have to say that it's really been it's unexpected, because I was not actually planning on participating in the political action part of CHN when I first joined CHN. Really because I don't consider myself very experienced or savvy in that arena. So that was not my initial intent. I was more hoping to get more involved and learn more from the sustainability resource group. So this happened accidentally because of the district I lived in. So Shuin first approached me because of AB 579, the zero emission school bus initiative, which was held up in appropriation in Senator Portantino's office. So she approached me to be a signatory for a letter to the senator. So we had a one-to-one conversation, which, really was helpful for me to understand the importance of the political action. I had some time to read about the political initiative and was happy to sign on to that letter. And subsequently, she also involved me in the meeting with Senator Portantino's office. I have to say, I didn't know really what to expect. Again, I don't consider myself politically. But I think it was just much easier than I realized because everything was so well organized. Like the other speaker had mentioned earlier, there was, an agenda that was well planned out, sent out ahead of time. There was a prep meeting to go over everyone's role in the meeting. I really didn't say a whole lot in the first meeting. I kind of thought of myself as sort of presenting a constituent's presence more than anything else. But just listening to everyone speaking was a great learning experience. And again, just knowing just learning about how to organize, how the organization goes was really impressive. And then subsequently, I was approached about participating in a meeting about SB 394 with Representative Chris Holden's office, also because I'm in that district. And this was regarding a master plan for climate resilience for California schools. And the funny thing about this was this, climate sustainability and climate health is kind of a shared passion for myself and my oldest kid, who's about to go on to college, majoring in climate science, and it's like a particular passion for him and for me, and some really a topic of shared passion for us. So because it was involving the schools, and he is a new voting constituent, but having just turned 18, and also in the district, and also a graduate of the California Public Schools, I asked if he could participate as well. So, like, I think both of us got to, again, participate in a really well organized meeting, to hear other folks speak and present the case so well, to learn about how other organizations can also be involved in these meetings. Yeah, no, I just saw in the chat someone said family advocacy. It really is. I mean, I think this is turning really into more of like a family activity for us. So my younger kids hear about it. So yeah, it's just been overall such a positive experience, one that like I've talked to my friends about, my colleagues about, and really hoping to be able to get other people to get involved in as well. So again, even though it was accidental that I got involved in these activities, I'm so appreciative of Shuing for and other members for involving me, and I've just learned so much also. So again, I look forward to participating in more of these type of actions.
Yes, I love
So,
it. Thank you so much, Mallory.
thank you.
But yeah, no, I remember talking to you the first time and we were bonding over our kids and how that kind of pushed us towards all this work. So it's really
Yeah,
great.
no, at the last meeting, I learned that word, which I love, that from I think Dr. Chung, solastalgia, and I was like, I totally have that.
Yes.
Which is
Exactly.
which is like nostalgia for the past. Is that right?
No, it's apparently a new. So I think Dr. Chung, who was on the last meeting, she's a psychiatrist, and apparently this is a new word. I don't know if I don't think it's a DSM-4 diagnosis yet, but it's anxiety relating to climate. So apparently it's a new word that's coming up in psychiatric evaluations, and they're finding more in a lot of young people. Anxiety, emotional distress relating to climate change.
Definitely have that.
Oh,
I know, me too. I have like vivid images of my kids living in Wall-E world, filled with trash.
Yes. That's actually very true. Wally. All right. Well, thank you so much, Mallory. It's been really great
Thank
to go on
you.
this journey with you as well, because
Me too.
there's
Same
not
here.
too many of us SoCal people. So
but you're growing.
yes.
Can I just like highlight one other thing, Mallory, that you said that I think you said you don't consider yourself political. And I think a lot of people in the health community really resonate with that we're sort of trained to not be, but health is political, and like policies affect health. And so that tension, I think, is really something that I relate to, and I think a lot of us do. And I just appreciate that you kind of focused on that. And we're going to do the survey a little bit later about, what support you want Climate Health Now to give you as a member. And I think that piece about like the political kind of tension feels really important. So thanks for highlighting that. Back to you, Xuan.
All right, thank you. Yes, I completely agree. And I also just want to call out the chat has been very active as well. And I really appreciate that. And it seems like, the prep is really, I think it really resonates and makes us all feel comfortable with the whole thing. So thanks for giving us that feedback, because we can definitely make sure that prep always happens. All right. And then finally, Roz, let's see, where are you at? My screen is too small. 1 second. There you are. Okay, Roz, if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your experience.
So as I think I said, I'm a social worker, a medical social worker in radiation oncology. I'm in Northern California in Oakland. And I participated in I attended the meeting with Buffy Wicks staffer. I learned about CHN because of an ambassador training that I did for an organization that I can't remember the name of. But Ashley McClure was in the training, and she was also at Kaiser Oakland, and it felt like more real and connectable to me. So that's how I ended up in this organization. And we went to meet with Buffy Wicks, who is with the staffer for Buffy Wicks, who's the assembly member for the district that I live in Berkeley. And I don't think I've ever met with a staffer or I don't think I've ever done any legislative. I mean, years and years ago, I did a lot of different kinds of activism, and I feel like maybe way back when I did something like that. But I definitely was new. I felt new, and I didn't feel like I had anything to contribute, but I wanted to be a warm body. I think that even on Zoom, I feel like every person who shows up represents, several more who aren't showing up, and the staffers know that. And so just being there and sort of presenting as a full room is a contribution. So I didn't actually have anything to say other than to introduce myself. But it was easy. The meeting went really smoothly. We had this great prep session right before, so it was very clear who was going to say what, and it was really reassuring. And let's see. The staffer was very receptive to what everyone said. Buffy Wicks is, one of those very progressive folks who is already on our side, basically. And so that was an easy first time. So the staffer was very appreciative of what we said. And I think it's good to show that we are supporting what Buffy Wicks is doing. Let's see, I have some notes. But I think that's kind of it. That was sort of a nice first experience for me. And the organization did a nice job making it very accessible for me as a newbie.
Thank you. So much. Woo! I'm just very, very grateful to be a part of this organization and all of you, all of you guys. It makes it the scary not so scary to do it with others. All right. Well, does anybody else want to share their experience or talk a little bit? I know that Roz, when you were saying like, oh, you didn't say anything, like I was the same way. Like I've done a couple now this year, but the first one I pretty much didn't say anything, and then the second one there was very few people in the room, so I had to talk, and I couldn't stop talking. They told me that you need to like really tone it down. And then the third one, I think, was it people were telling me that I sounded like a pro, and I was like, that's hilarious because I don't really know. Like this is totally new to me. But anyway, yeah, does anybody else want to share their experience? Oh,
I see
go
Mark
ahead.
hand.
So I'm in San Francisco, so about 4 of us in person and 3 of us on Zoom met with Senator Wiener. And so we had this opportunity, which was he had a cancellation. The staffer said, do you want to meet with him? Can you meet at this time? And we just mobilized and made it happen. So we met with Senator Wiener at his office in San Francisco and had to wait 20 minutes for him. But anyway, I think what was valuable is to really show that we're here to collaborate. I mean, he's a climate champion, so it was easy to talk to him and thank him for all of the work he does. But we really wanted to present ourselves as collaborators, that we can offer expert content in the future when he's developing bills, and that we can mobilize our coalition to help him, with his bills. So I thought we showed that we're a force that he should rely on, come to collaborate with. And one thing I learned too is that he asked us, like, do you have any bills that you would like to present? So he's asking for our help as well as thinking about what should be the next bill. So he was asking for our input on that. So I thought, establishing this relationship is really great. And hopefully we can get in more on the ground floor on things that we see are of importance. So do you have anything to add, Knox? Knox was there.
No,
Maybe
nothing to
we'll
add,
Knox.
Margie. Sorry, I was trying to get off mute. No, it was a great meeting. I think we're preaching to the choir with him.
This was posted yesterday in Time magazine that Senator Wiener, as an example of what a leader he is, that a bill that he introduced that would require enormous corporations of revenues of 2 billion or something, that they would have to start measuring their carbon/climate inventories and publicly disclosing them. So that's going to Governor Newsom, and it's a big, huge deal, and I think your point that Wiener is such an ally. Like I said, and not in jest, that we have some meetings coming up in the Central Valley and with other leaders. And I think the unique strength of us as health community members is that we can totally connect to people with, across the aisle based on health. We can't just stay in kind of, the more progressive side of things. We have to get the support of both parties, and that we can do that, especially as health people, because we can talk about health, which, everybody cares about their family's health, period. And so that's really like our work of the narrative and the shared values, and finding those no matter who we're talking with, whatever audience. So that's kind of some of the public narrative stuff that we talk about in other meetings, but I think that's really a unique strength that we have as a health community, is that we can connect with everybody. So, but thank you all for sharing.
I think Megan has her hand up.
Yes, thank you. To build on what you're saying, Ashley, which is extremely resonant, which is you kind of have to use the message of health, which is acceptable to everybody. Everybody cares about their own health, the health of their families and children. one of the things that came up recently, I met with Arlene Blum. Some of you might know her. She's like a super famous mountaineer, female mountaineer who like did all this awesome stuff and then has a separate super awesome career as a chemist. And is founded the Green Science Policy Institute and does a lot of work on plastic pollution and chemical toxicity. And what's interesting is that we were talking about how you kind of have to tailor the climate message to different audiences, right? And she wrote this really excellent editorial in the New York Times, which I'm happy to share if anyone's curious, about how there's a confluence of how, as the petrochemical industry is losing, as we're having decarbonization, they're losing the market for oil, they're moving toward producing more plastic products in order to not actually reduce their petrochemical footprint overall. And I think chemicals leaching into our food is a totally different story that sounds unrelated to climate, but in some ways the goals are the same, which is reducing our petrochemical footprint, not only decarbonization from a fuel perspective, but reducing our use overall. So anyway, I spoke with her and I mentioned that like I think there's a huge opportunity. Oh, thank you. Yes. Plastic. Yeah, it's called Proliferation of Plastics and Toxic Chemicals. Yeah, it has a couple of different titles when you Google it actually, but it's from 2021. But I think so she would be open to talking to Climate Health Now because she's looking to break into talking to physicians and so forth. And I said, she was like, oh, would you give a talk or can you do CME? And I was like, sure, but you should actually first talk to a bunch of really engaged clinicians first, because there might be an opportunity. So I thought I'd just float that. It doesn't, if you you can think about it, if it's not a good match, that's okay. But it may be an interesting way to change some of the way the narrative might resonate in different audiences as we think about advocating.
Really
Awesome.
interesting opportunity. Yeah, we can look into that. I will say that as part of one of my legislative visits this year was with Congressman Mike Garcia, and he is a Republican, and it's on the national level. And I was a little scared going in there because if you look on his website, it's like automatically like army fatigue. And I was like, oh, okay, this is gonna be fun. But I just talked about, because I have a 5-year-old and he has asthma. And then I was showing a map of like, oh, this is like our air quality in the area. And, and I was talking about, having to give my son nebulizer treatment every day. And that actually super resonated. It was actually a very good conversation. And it just, yeah, I was really surprised. So yeah, so just using the health angle really does actually break down a lot of the political back and forth. So it's just nice. All right, yay. Let's get it back to you, Ashley.
Thank you. Wonderful. I really appreciate everybody sharing and, putting ourselves in these different, it's not like we're not busy enough, and kind of putting yourselves into these new, environments where you don't feel like the expert can be hard. But I hear from everybody sharing today, and personally, I can totally say it's also really satisfying. So more work, but really meaningful work. So thank you, everybody. And to the CHOF team and C and Shawin and Cindy, thank you again so much for all the work you put into making this campaign real. So thank you. I could speak to this if you want, Shawin. So our goal was to have 20 meetings in September. And well, by the 15th, but we've extended it because, things take time. So it's not over. The window of opportunity continues, and we're working on scheduling about 10 more meetings, and these are all virtual, pretty much all by Zoom or Google Meets videos. So if you're like, I want to try this, sounds kind of fun, I want to give this a shot, we might have a meeting already in the works in your assembly or Senate district, and if we don't, we could get it in the works. So I would love to hear from you if it's something you want to be a part of. And maybe Amanda or somebody could drop my email in the chat. So if you want to join in, like I said, we have about 7 scheduled in the next couple of weeks. So we'd love to have you join, and we'll do all the prep to help you feel really confident and have fun. So that is an invitation. Any questions or anything? Okay, great. And then, like I kind of alluded to earlier, so we have this 1 question survey that we would love actually to just, if you could open up and do right now. And if somebody could put in the chat, that'd be great. And the survey, what we're trying to elicit from you, our members, is what the key challenges from your perspective, like what made you join CHN, and what's the challenge in your life? Like we all have really clearly agreed that the group we're organizing is the health community in California. So we are, like I said earlier, we're nurses, and we're dentists and therapists and doctors and public health and health administrators, health students for sure also. So anybody in the health sector. We know our people, we know the problem is climate change, but really specifically, we want to, if you wouldn't mind doing a survey, which I can actually just show to you. The survey is to kind of get more specific, like what's the key challenge that you want Climate Health Now to help you address? Is it that you feel really isolated because nobody else seems to worry about climate change as much as you do in your workplace? Is it, wanting to learn how to talk with colleagues about climate? Is it just that you're worried about your family in really like a personal way, but you don't know what to do? So, and what would be really interesting is if you would write in, from your perspective, like what is it that you want Climate Health Now to help you solve in terms of climate and health in your life? And then we'll take this and integrate it into our strategy work, which the leadership team is working on. And that's what will kind of develop our next campaigns is your feedback on what the challenges related to climate and health that you want Climate Health Now to help you solve. Collective problem, collective solutions, but we really want to hear from you what feels really specific and kind of resonates with you. So did anybody have trouble opening that in the chat? Okay. So we'll probably share that again, but we really, really, really would value your feedback. And then we come back to this every month. Amanda, you want to speak to this slide?
Sure. Sorry, my voice is still hoarse. Absolutely. Just another plug. If you have colleagues, friends, family members, anyone who's part of the health community in California, I'll share the link with how we are working definition of the health community who might be interested in joining us. Please send them our way. And that's our website, and that's the QR code that also takes you to our website.
Great. Thank you. And everybody's also invited to help support the work. So it's kind of like the passing the hat at the end of a meeting. This work, actually, the CHN now has 2 part-time staff people, which is Amanda and me, and we really need support. We have appreciate you even thinking about supporting our work. So we have a 501c3, which means that the donations to that are tax deductible. So no donation is too small. My mom gives $10 a month. If you want to do that, that'd be great. If you, whatever, feels right, but we definitely need it and appreciate you just even thinking about it. So it's pretty prominent on our website, but you can also take a picture of this too. So thank you. And this is an exciting opportunity. So I saw Paulina was here, and if Paulina, she might have to jump off. But so Climate Health Now has some scholarships for people who want to participate in a 6-week training. It's on Wednesdays at 12 p.m., so 12 to 1:30 for 6 Wednesdays. And this is through the same group that organized the Climate Health Organizing Fellowship that our team was part of, that just shared. But this is kind of a light version of that training. So it starts actually next Wednesday. Am I right? No, it's Tuesday. I'm sorry, it's Tuesday. Starts next Tuesday, the 19th. And it's designed for people, people in health across the country can do it. But again, Climate Health Now has some scholarships, and they focus on community organizing. It's totally designed for people who don't have any experience in community organizing or in activism, but who are interested. And it's not solely about climate, it's about health equity, which, climate is a enormous piece of that, but it's around health equity writ more broadly also. So the themes include vision of tomorrow, team building, strategy, leading and surviving change, and narrative leadership around the why and how we tell our story to recruit more people. I couldn't speak more highly of the people who run this, especially Pedja Stojic, who has been a really treasured mentor of Climate Health Now. So we would love to invite you to do this. It's all virtual. Obviously, the short timeline is hard, but if this is something that you want to do, we would love to support you doing that. So just email me and let me know, by a couple days ago or soon, and we can connect you in and connect you with those scholarships that we have available. So something to consider. Any questions about that? Great. Actually, I see Brett is here, and Brett did it. Do you want to speak to it at all, Brett, about your experience? I might have caught him off guard. Okay, so that's an opportunity. And then a couple of save the dates that Amanda will wrap us up with.
Awesome. All righty. I'm going to try to go through this quickly and share in the chat what we really want to call out here. And given that we're down to 3 minutes, I'm going to focus on 3 of these in particular. So next Wednesday at 12:30, which is the 20th, we are thrilled to be hosting what we're calling a letter to the editor action hour. Mike Harris, who is still on the call, is going to be helping us lead that. So we, as you know, have been working on 2 separate bills, flexing our C4 arm, but both of which actually have to do with schools and child health and health equity. We are thrilled to say that both of our bills have now made it out of their house of origin and out of their opposite house. So it is looking extremely likely that they will go to Newsom to be signed into law. But as we probably all know at this point, Newsom has a lot of power. He could veto either of these bills, and there is some chatter that he might, for various reasons. And in California, if the governor vetoes a bill, it doesn't go back. There's no override mechanism that the legislature can bring to bear. So we are going to be doing an action hour, which is 1 hour focused on equipping you with everything you need, a template information to submit a letter to the editor, asking to your local newspaper, asking Newsom to sign these bills into law. I'm going to just share all the links at once. That's the 20th. On October 1st, which is a Sunday, if you live in the NorCal area, which I know is very large, we're going to be hosting an in-person get-together, and we would love to see you. We're calling it a veggie brunch picnic. Veggie forward. So let us know if you're interested in coming to that, and there's more details that'll be coming soon. And then our next monthly meeting is going to be October 12th. That's the last link that I shared. And we're beta testing something new, which is an evening community meeting. We've not held one of those at least recently, so it'll have a 5:30 p.m. start. And I think that is it. Yeah, Ashley, I'll turn it back over to you to close.
Awesome. And then one other thing that's happening, if anybody here is close to Sacramento, there's going to be a big event with a lot of our kind of movement allies on this coming Saturday at 11 in Sacramento. I think the title of the event is The Era to End Fossil Fuels. So that should be fun, a lot of art and kind of, participating with each other in person. So that would be another thing to consider if you could make it. Wonderful. I think we got through everything. Really appreciate everybody contributing and spending your time with us. So thank you, and we will be in touch soon. All right. Have a great afternoon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye, thank you.